Negative thinking is a major problem. If you're trying to be successful or happy, you have no room for negativity. Big thinking gets rid of negativity. Dreams and visions gets rid of negativity. Now, what you cannot do is bury yourself by using your success compared to other people. See, success is not how far you go, because somebody always further than you. Success ain't how far you got. Success is how far you got and where you start. God said, man, he says he did. We are how we think. You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position. If you don't like the position, think yourself out of it.
When people know better, they do better. I can't even say that's always true in my own life. I know every morning early at 8 about 3. I know what is healthy. I have to between what we know and what we do is often a wide gulf, and we don't always reach the goal. This thing you call life. Life has earthquakes. It's like, stop expecting it to go great, because things fall through. The way of success is always under construction. You combat negativity and you combat encouragement with gratitude. And you focus on the things that are not happening. So whatever you can do, change what's not happening to what has happened. Because what causes the satisfied is if you get but you have to focus on
We all love to be blessed, our business taking off, we meet the person of our dream. But here's the key, the blessing doesn't come by
I
itself.
smoked about 4, 5.
But with that blessing,
I smoked about 10 months already.
opposition,
I smoked about 3
jealousy, people that
before
are
6 a.m. this morning.
The question is
Sure.
not so much, can you handle the blessing? The question is, can you handle the persecution? Everyone is not going to celebrate your success. All your friends will be happy when you get that promotion. When you get engaged, the favor on your life will stir up the jealousy, the competition, the envy, and the people. You can't have the blessing without some kind of persecution. If you can handle the persecution, then God can trust you with the blessing. You have to pass the test of overlooking insults, ignoring what people are saying. They wouldn't be talking if you weren't making a difference. Let God deal with you. Let God take care of those that are trying to make you look bad. Some people can't handle your success. They were fine as long as you were at their level, as long as you were single like this, as long as you lived in their neighborhood. You have to be okay with them not being okay with you. Your time is too valuable to worry about what people think about you. You don't need everyone to celebrate you. You don't need all your co-workers, all your relatives to cheer you on. If you become too dependent on people, then if they don't meet your expectations, if they don't approve you, you'll spend your time trying to get their approval. Don't look to people, look to God.
I do not deserve the good nature that flows with success. I can't see myself as being in this position. I don't deserve it. This all comes from things that people said to you or about you. They programmed you to see yourself in a limited parameter. And so when you see opportunities beyond how you've been programmed, you reject it because you don't feel like you deserve it. I do not want to stand apart or be different. I want to fit in. Because of the belief system that holds on to being ordinary, they will not take that I will become a target, and you will. If you take the lead, you will become a target. But just because they're shooting at you doesn't mean they shot you.
There are a lot of voices in life trying to tell us who we are. Sometimes they're uplifting, other times they're negative. You're not acting. There's nothing special about you. Our own thoughts will try to label us. When you listen to all those voices, it's easy to think, who's telling the truth? Who am I? Am I small and confident? Or am I weak and insecure? Here's the truth. The only voice that matters is your voice. What you choose is what you will become. Who do you think you are? God says you have seeds of greatness. You are destined to leave your mark. Other voices will tell you you're just ordinary. You have the final choice. The problem with some people is they've chosen the wrong voice so long, they don't know who they really are. They've allowed circumstances to define them. Mistakes, disappointments, now they've lost their passion. The only one that knows who you really are is your Creator.
One of the things that you feel that's been keeping you from living your dream, that's been keeping you from doing some things that you would like to do. Life is about growth. You can either go back to your comfort zone, and there you won't find any growth, or you must be willing to go forward and face your fears, because you're never going to have a fear-free existence. I mean, some fear is acceptable. There's some things that you really should be afraid of. Now, you shouldn't allow it to immobilize you. You take it into account, and you tell yourself, there's a difference between having a fear and the fear having you. Being stopped by fear. It's perfectly fine to have some fears. You embrace those fears, and then you move on. You conquer whatever it is that you fear. What you resist will persist.
You can't say I'm weak and tap into the power. You can't say I'm not that talented and tap into your greatness. Who do you say you are? Not who do other people say you are, who do your co-workers say you are. No disrespect, but you are not who people say you are. You are who God says you are. If you let Him put those limitations on you, convince you that you can't accomplish your dream, then because you're letting them define you, what they're saying is going to come to pass. Don't repeat the negative people have spoken over you. Imagine someone asks you, who do you say you are so we can tell others? This pandemic has me worried. My back's been hurting. These kids are getting on my nerves. I'm really discouraged. That is not who you are. Go back to the scripture and say what God says about you. I'm strong, talented, favored, blessed, forgiven, fearfully, and wonderfully made. I am not.
Sorry to regret, everybody.
I may feel weak.
There is no fight between me and the Salinas Report, aka Mikey Diaz. The Salinas Report YouTube channel.
You're dealing with
I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna play that game. He knows what's going on. Everybody knows in public when I commented. We know what we were talking about. Me versus him, 5 rounds. 2 minutes each round. Then all of a sudden there was no round. Then all of a sudden he's no longer an amateur. He turned pro. I gotta respect what he's saying. There's nothing I can do about it. Salama County, Bay Area, there is no fight. The fight between Iron Tiger, Son of God, and the Salinas Report YouTube station, like it did, it's been canceled. Because what he said, all of a sudden, he fought 2 days ago.
I talked to a
He just turned
man
pro.
that was so down on himself.
When we've been discussing for months, ever since Joe Trucker was done her first fight, about maybe 2 months after that,
Being against
Joe Trucker did
yourself is
not
not
fight
going
me
to help
because
you move
respectfully he
forward.
said he's not looking to
The
go to the
enemy
ring.
is called the
So we should never see Joe Trucker in there
He'll
again.
remind you of every mistake
Like
you
Diaz
have.
now, he's
He'd
not
love
coming
for you
back
to
because
wear
he's
these
gaining weight.
labels,
There's nothing I can do
unworthy,
about it. Salama County,
I told him what I
we
was
won by
telling you.
we won by
As
default.
long
I
as
have the
you see
screenshots.
yourself
He
unworthy,
knows.
it's
He
going to
even
keep
posted
you
my
where you
comments,
are.
and I said between you and I, if not March, June
People can
21st.
get jealous.
He said if it's not
You
March,
don't
we can do
need
it later
their
in the summer.
approval. You have
I'm
a
talking
lot
about
of
between him and I. He knew that
Don't
because
get upset
my team
when
was getting
people
that
tell
Flacco.
you.
I went and got me a
Don't be
trainer.
revengeful
I'm talking about
and
me and
use
him.
your
I'm not looking to fight no young
influence to
guys.
pay them back.
I'm not looking
Always
to,
thinking about what they
join,
said.
get in the continued ranks. I'm not trying to do
Keep
that.
dreaming, Keep
One
being
time
good to
exhibition,
people,
super
and
exhibition,
God
like for
will
me,
take care
like
of the
he had all
persecutors.
children,
He'll deal
like
with the critics,
tired.
the
He
jealous
had all of a
people,
sudden
the
turned pro.
opposition. People can't
You know what
stop
I'm
your
saying?
destiny.
There's no fight now.
The blessing on
We've
your
been
life
talking about it,
is
so I'm not gonna
greater
play
than
that game.
any force that's trying to
What that
hold
is,
you back.
I wanted to help
Now,
out.
don't stay
There's a
focused
charity
on the
people to keep the
persecution.
communities
It's a
raise money,
test.
maybe to help out some
Can you handle
kids,
the opposition,
youngsters
the
in the streets.
jealousy?
Something we can
You
do for
know
our
who gets
community.
jealous
I was
when
gonna do
you
for Storm
succeed?
County. He's gonna do
Small-minded
for Salinas
people.
Valley.
Think you going up
It's not me.
makes them look bad, so they try to pull you
Talking word.
down. Instead of believing that what God did for you, you can do for them.
So
they
I
start
respect him. I mean,
criticizing.
I didn't see him turn
Trying to
pro.
make you
I wouldn't imagine him
They
lying.
think God's
You know what I'm
favor
saying?
is
So it
limited.
is what it is. I got
They
no
don't
love
realize
for you.
God
Hey, you
has
want to fight?
unlimited favor.
But them belts belong to me. Rightfully, I am the people's champion.
If you can't
I'm sorry, son of
celebrate
God.
people
Both
that
of
are
us
ahead of
YouTube
you,
champion. By my
if you can't
ideas,
be happy
forfeit.
when they get promoted, when they get married, when their dream comes to pass, that's going to limit how high God will take you. Now quit saying negative things about yourself. I'm so overwhelmed. I'll never get out of this neighborhood. I'll never break this. You're going to become what you believe. What you think about yourself is going to become a reality. I'm just average. You're going to be average. When the truth is, God didn't make anyone average. And as long as you believe you're ordinary, you won't shine like you're supposed to shine. When Moses was born, the scripture says he was no ordinary child. As he grew up, he could sense his destiny was to deliver the Israelites out of slavery. But he made a mistake. He spent 40 years in hiding. I can imagine those voices told him how he lived. He could have worn the labels, failure, too late. But deep down, he could hear that still small voice telling him, this is not how your story ends. There is greatness in you. Just because you made mistakes, what stops us is when we start wearing the negative label. We quit pursuing. When you were born, God said the same thing about you as he did Moses. This is not an ordinary child. He's destined you to lead your life. You may have made mistakes, it's longer than you thought, but that doesn't change what it is. Now the enemy will work overtime to try to steal your sense of self. Who knows if he can distort your identity and convince you that you're unhappy, then he can keep you from your greatness. With great favor comes great freedom. With great abundance comes great opposition. You pray for the blessing, God gives you great favor. Great ideas, that's good. But we should add to that prayer, and God, help me to endure great persecution. Help me to stay on the high road and trust you to fight my battles. When you see great blessing, soon someone will not understand. Soon a family member will be jealous. And this is not to discourage you, but to prepare you. If you're prepared, you don't get bitter. Stay in the high. Don't pay attention to jealous, small-minded people. Sometimes the way God brings you back is he keeps blessing you when others are trying to dismiss you. He keeps taking you up and they're doing their best to pull you down. Here's the truth. The grace is there to handle. You have what it takes to not be offended. To not let what they say get down in your spirit. You have to rule your emotions. You have to not dwell on the offense. When you're bitter, take that same time to thank God for something blessed you. Don't let jealous people steal your blessing. People that are never going to be for you keep you from the greatness that God put in you. Don't waste your time trying to change your critic's mind. Don't argue with people that don't want. Their enemy is trying to keep you from that negative is a distraction. You can stop what they're saying, but you can't ignore it. You don't have to respond to the negative. A response gives that person credibility. Don't validate yourself by answering this. You have a destiny to fulfill. I wonder how far God will take you if you will just live like you are no ordinary child. That there's a favor on your life that will take you where you can't go on your own. A blessing that will cause you to stand out. Who do you say you are? You're really a blood. What's trying to stop you doesn't have a all being for you is more than the world being against you. That sickness should be the end. The medical report says you're done, but not for you. You're no ordinary child. God handpicked you. Before you could choose Him, He chose you. Now don't go around thinking you're average. You are no ordinary child. You are a history maker. You are destined to leave your mark. Joel, this sounds good, but you are the wrong person. Nothing unusual about me. I don't have a great personality. I don't come from an influential family. As long as you're discounting yourself, you're not going to see your greatness. I'm asking you to get in agreement with God. It doesn't matter how you were raised. It's not dependent on how much education you have. When you believe God will always do everything. The prophet Joel said, wake up the mighty men. Wake up the mighty women. I want to wake up your greatness. Wake up that business God gave you. Wake up that book. They seem like it's over your head, but you have to understand you're not average. You can accomplish more than you. You are more anointed than you think. You are more talented than you think. The dreams and gifts God put in you are much bigger than you think. Don't you dare say I'm average, I'm ordinary. Get in agreement with God. I am highly favored. I am surrounded with God's goodness.
You had no.
At the end of your feelings is nothing.
I will make it
At the end
happen.
of every principle is a promise. Behind your little feelings, it might not be absolutely nothing at the end of your little feelings. But behind every principle is a promise. And some of you in your life, the reason why you're not at your goal right now is you're just all about your feelings. You're all on your feelings. You don't feel like waking up. So who does? Every day you say no to your dreams, you might be pushing your dreams back a whole 6 months, a whole year. That one single day, that one day you didn't get up, could have pushed your stuff back, I don't know how long.
To your there's a lot of things you can take from this. You can take I got another one. You can take my house. I can get another house. When you tell me you have taken something from me that is totally irreplaceable. We take all kinds of money management. We know how to manage our money, we know how to repair our houses, we work on our spirits and our bodies, all of this kind of stuff. We do everything except the most important thing is to value our time. It takes time to be creative. If you had time, you would be creative. But in the absence of time, and with busyness and clutter, the phone ring, y'all got music playing on your phone, all kinds of stuff. And no matter what kind of song you put on after a while, you hate to hear it. Because every time you hear that sound, you know it's somebody else wanting something else from you, that's taking you away from what you are gifted.
You all got your dream because people that are running at their dreams. The people that are living their dreams are the people that know that it's up to them and they're resolving within themselves, it's not over until I win. The people that are running after their dream know they're going to have hard times. They keep on running because they're saying within themselves, I'm the one, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. The people that are running after their dreams are the people that are hungry. Hunger is the ultimate driver. If you're hungry, you can get the strategy, you can get the model it, and you find it.
Motivation gets you going. Discipline, commitment, strong habits is what gets things done. Commit once. You don't need to commit more than once. You commit once to the things you're going to do, and then you do it consistently. That everyday method is one of the most powerful methods for you can shut through their entire life.
When you perceive choice, you perceive motivation. You're motivated. So the deal is, for yourself, sit back and reflect, be mindful and being effective. And you communicate to yourself and to others. You just can't hang on passion. You can't just hang on. It doesn't work that way. And honestly, that isn't even what motivate means. To motivate actually means to provide a motive, a reason why. When you have a thing that
You don't want nothing
motivates
back.
you because you're
You don't want nothing on the tire, son of God. He'll stop a little.
So I find that a lot of
That's
times lack of motivation has to
Stop a
do
little
with
with heel
structuring your
side.
life in a way where you actually care
Throw away about a Fairfield
So
on
find
let
out
me get
things,
this.
stop
Over
judging
the East
yourself.
Table block.
I think everybody needs
Burger King,
something that
Table Park.
they really
East Table Thug. Table
At
Boys,
least
nigga.
it's
I'm the
more-
original nigga East Side Table Thug.
Always go to something bigger than yourself. I know you've been defeated because you have been giving yourself holding to something that was too small to hold you.
Yakamando.
Have you thrust yourself into a glass of water? Have you leaped off the diving board into a cereal bowl person? Are you not guilty of immersing yourself in the things that were too small to hold you? Now, I've told you so many times, you strong, big ideas as small people. And you're trying to get your sight back from a source that's too small to support what you're willing to put in. Is your investment bigger than the bank? You should see the way you're looking at me. Is the reason you keep being disappointed by people is that you have totally thrown yourself into something that is too small? Don't let that happen. Be aggressive, be vigilant, and destroy the business. Go. Everybody wants to do work when they're feeling strong, when they're feeling refreshed. But what's more important is you do the work when you're feeling weak, you're feeling lazy. When you have those things, it's even more important to step up and get there. There are areas within myself where I cannot compromise. I have to hold the line. I am going to work hard. I am going to train hard. I am going to improve myself. I am not going to rest on my laurels. I'm going to own my mistakes and confront them. I am going to face my fears. I'm not going to give up or give out or give in. I am going to stand. I am going to maintain my self-discipline. There will be no compromise. Not ever.
Woo!
Turn your wounds into wisdom. You will be wounded many times in your life. You will make mistakes. Some people will call them failures. But I have learned that failure is really God's way of saying, excuse me, you're moving in the wrong direction. Real work is to figure out where your power base is and to work on the alignment of your personality, your gifts that you have to give, with the real reason why you're here. That's the number one thing you have to do, is to work on yourself and to build yourself up and keep yourself full. Keep yourself full. I used to be afraid of that. I used to be afraid, particularly from people who say, oh, it's okay to have them. And then I embrace it. I consider it a compliment that I am full of myself. Because only when you're full, I'm overflowing, my cup runneth over. I have so much to offer and so much to give. And I am not afraid of honoring myself. It's miraculous when you think of it.
We are busier than any other generation we have seen in the last 100 years. We are so busy. We are busier than a one-on-one. We are just as busy as we can be, and we think because we're busy, we're effective. But I want you to ask yourself for a minute. Yourself. Are you really being effective, or is your life cluttered with all kinds of stuff that demands you and drains you and taxes you and stops you from being your highest and best self? And are you substituting busyness and all the chaos that goes along with business and being effective? Let me tell you something. Determined that 80% of the things we do are easy things that we do in an area that is not effective. That the average person only spends 20% of their time doing the thing that they are really passionate at, creative at, passionate about, excited to. And the rest of it is all this additional dumb stuff that we all try to do in order to survive. Just what we're doing. If we would go 80% of things that are not effective, 20% of if we would just switch those numbers around and only get 20% of our time to the things that we have to do and 80% of our time to the thing that we were created to do.
And when you need motivation yourself, don't look for someone to scream and yell. Don't look for someone else to give you motivation. Look at yourself and remind yourself why you are doing what you are doing. Remind yourself that this struggle, this temporary pain, this fight that you're in, this is what will make you stronger, and faster, and smarter, and better. Don't be upset by the results you didn't get from the work you put in to do. I don't want you to be upset. I didn't get the result because I didn't do the work. I didn't show up on time. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. That's the thing. I made an excuse. I didn't make adjustments. I'm tired of people talking about it. I want to be successful. I want to be great. Everybody wants to be elite. And do it how to do a real big. And let me tell you something. That means getting up early, going to bed late. That means you don't go to sleep when you're tired. You go when you're done. If you have to decide, I'm going to see my way. If I say something, I'm going to do it regardless. Being more disciplined. Find something that you can look at your life that you say, hey, I know I've got a problem in this area, being late, procrastinating, not taking care of business, being seriously not serious. I need to deal with that. I guarantee you, if you're wondering why it is that everybody else has this and that, this, and why you don't have I guarantee you, if you take inventory of your actions, they equal what you're getting. Period. If you do the work consistently, if you invest in yourself consistently, 10 years of motivation work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, doing the cool thing on the weekend,
God rarely shows anyone his full plan for their lives. He may speak to you about where you end up and forget all his praise. We love. We all love to be told this is what God is saying about your future. But God will often not show you how you'll get there, or when you'll get there. The time between his promise and the fulfillment of his promise can be a very confusing and difficult season. Sometimes it's a very lonely and quiet road, and you may not think it will feel that. It's the season when you start to ask yourself if you really heard God. After a while of waiting and trusting God, when he seems to be taking long to bring you your expected end, you may feel weak and afraid. Your mind may be filled with doubt and despair, wondering if God will do what he said he would in your life. In this waiting period, you have to dig deep in the quiet of God's presence. You have to know God's promise. That's why it's important to write down a vision. So when life issues seem to cloud your thoughts, you can read it. Even when you can't see how those all things come together, his word will keep you strong, will keep your hope alive. Keep trusting that God is still with you, no matter how bad things get. Trusting God means you have to let go of all you know, to allow God to do things his way, in his own time, and using whomever he chooses. You can't keep God in a box. He's not in his box, but for his grace. Abraham and Sarah had to trust God for a son. You see, Sarah had been barren for years when God spoke to them and promised him a son. God promised Abraham that he would be the father of nations, and that his descendants would be as numerous as the stars in the sky. All this did not make sense, because Sarah had not been able to bear children and was aged. As impossible as it seemed, as late in the life as it proved, they had to trust that God would do what he promised. They had to trust the son to be born in Sarah's womb, though she'd been barren for many, many years. At some point, like many of us, they started to lose hope, and they tried using their own way to bring it to pass. Sarah gave Abraham Hagar, their slave, to bear Abraham a son, and they succeeded, and Ishmael was born. But this was not God's plan for them. God planned to give them a son through Sarah's womb. But just like many of us, Sarah and Abraham went through a time of doubt. A time of taking matters into their own hands.
Consists of 3 different stages, like I
when
said.
you feel that God is taking too long.
Stage 1, 30-minute warm-up. We just did that earlier.
Because we're often bombarded by life's demands
Then I box,
and life's
then I go about 5 rounds for more.
Closing in on us.
Stage 2,
Abraham and Sarah
5 rounds
watched
for more.
their bodies age.
And
day
stage
after
3, I just
day,
boxed it back
with
for an
no
hour.
sign of the birth of their
So
son
I
on the
skipped
horizon.
my phase.
The
So really I'm just boxing God back for an hour now. Then later on I'm going to
He
go
didn't
out.
change his mind on the promise. And
Still,
in the end,
different
God
things.
did fulfill his
Come
promise
on.
to Abraham and Sarah. Isaac, their long-awaited son, is heaven. We have to learn to trust God's plan. God may not come natural, but you can't do it. You have to teach yourself to trust beyond what you can feel, hear, and see. You have to learn to trust God for everything. We learn to trust his plan, his timing. The people he chooses to use them. He is worthy of trust. He doesn't lie. He doesn't change his mind. He is dependable. We have to stop relying on our human understanding and learn to wait for God to work in our lives according to his divine wisdom. As written in the Word of God, 5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Total surrender is a good thing to do. From a tender age, we learn to be independent, self-reliant, self-sufficient. We are told to trust yourself, to lean on yourself, and let the scriptures tell us not to lean on our own understanding. We subconsciously want control over what is happening to us and around us. We want to know whether what we're hoping for will work out the way we've planned it. We panic at the thought of things going any other way. And then there's the pressure to prove yourself to others. You're trying to prove to everyone that you really did hear God about that career change. That you really did hear God about marrying that man. That you really did hear God about moving to a different city.
United
You
States
want to
1
prove to
victory,
yourself
Mexico
so
0.
much that you end
Do
up
this
taking
Selena
matters
Support
into your
YouTube
own
channel.
hands.
The
But
Selena
others
Support
weren't
YouTube
there
channel,
when
Mikey
you
Diaz
heard
backed
God.
out, so
It
rightfully
doesn't matter at
so.
all
He knows
whether
what he
others
talks about,
believe in
so
what God has
we don't leave
promised.
him alone. But he's still
You don't
building,
need
like
to
you
show
said.
anyone that you were right
It's
and they
his
were
fault,
wrong.
so
Let
it's
go
not gonna happen
of
in March.
the
It's his fault.
James
It's not gonna happen in
4:10.
or June.
Humble
It's his fault.
yourself
Maybe
before
December if
God,
you still want
and
to do
He will
something.
lift you up.
But as far as I'm,
And
he
by
said he's
the
not
way,
gonna fight.
God is under
So I
no
win
pressure
by
to prove
default.
himself to anyone.
That's on my mama.
God is God because He is. He says, I am that I
We
am.
don't ever quit.
He's the Alpha and
Too
the
easy to
Omega.
quit. And where's
He
my
has
pops?
seen the end
And
from
see
the
him.
beginning. He sees the right time to make things happen. He knows that this is not the right time for your promotion because He knows that this is not the right time for your child. Because He is building a beautiful testimony of your life that will be a story of hope, a lifeline for others who may be facing the same struggles. By the way, troubles are powerful testimony. Troubles have a way of making us more compassionate. Troubles make us love because others can identify with them. Troubles make us better than others facing the same situation. Isn't it interesting that troubles have a way of making us better than we? Did you know that if you have a butterfly out of its cocoon, it may never be able to fly? You see, the process of a butterfly struggling out of its cocoon is a way to strengthen its wings so it will be able to fly. If you try to help this butterfly out of the cocoon, it will never be able to fly. And many times, it's the same for us. God has put a plan in place for us to help strengthen us, so that once He's done with us, we'll be able to
It's in my
fly
pack, but I didn't get it, so I
and
went to
enjoy
Vallejo,
the
got my
rest of our lives.
second pack,
But
same
we
one I
often
sent
look for
before.
shortcuts. And
Legal
we
Services of Northern
have
California.
pity parties because we feel the process is too hard. We need to see it as God using hardship to make us stronger. The
Legal
Lord
Service
will
Northern
take all
California.
things to paint a beautiful
We picked it
picture
up
of our
at the
lives.
office in Vallejo.
Ecclesiastes 3:11.
They're gonna remove
He
the felony,
made everything beautiful
99,
in
and
its
the hit and
time.
run, or the
He
hit and
has
run.
also set eternity in the human heart.
They remove another
Yet no
felony
one
and
can
then
fathom
misdemeanor.
what God has done from
Doing
beginning
phone
to
calls.
end.
And I got lawyers
Society
working on
sets
right now,
standards
3
for
hours
us,
from
and
here.
when we don't meet those
Cost
standards,
$10,000 to
we
get
think
her
things are
reheard in
not
trial,
going well in our
reheard in
lives.
court again based on new evidence that they
Establish
found
my
out.
career by 40
You know
years.
who?
Get married by
Yeah,
30 years.
they've been working on
Have
that.
children by 36
Anyway,
years. All these
that's
rules,
later on to make it,
often
but
not
as of right
said,
now,
but strongly felt.
I got lawyers.
Many
Her
of
name's
us feel like
Beth.
we're failing when we
She's
don't
working
meet
on,
these standards.
you know,
God doesn't always follow these
but bless
standards.
her heart, she's
He
working
will
on getting
always
the
choose the
felony
right time
off my
for
record
you.
and the misdemeanor.
When His
on my
work
phone
is
calls.
accomplished,
And I'm
it's
good.
always
I'm all
worth the
Gucci.
wait.
I'm gonna go for my state
David
job,
became
working for
was
the
a
union,
man
driving
to be
trucks,
king, but did not
and then
become a
get
king
my
for
state
another
job,
15
working for,
years.
you know,
And when he
trucking
became
services,
king,
you know.
they won many
My own trucking
battles
service,
because
tire
God
line,
had
they-
taken him through many
I'll let
battles
you play
before
pop.
he became king.
So this is in
David
the
learned
works.
to trust
This is
God to
dated
win his battles,
December
right
9th,
from when he took
2021.
care of his father's
in the
sheep.
works. And wish me luck, y'all.
Hannah
God
prayed
bless.
for years for God to bless her with a child. And when God finally did it,
Yes, you know how
her
I'm
son
feeling
was
it.
one of the greatest prophets that ever